This conference will now be recorded.
So today we are going to start with the topic called, yeah, Yogesh, you are asking something?
No, sir.
Okay, right. So today we are going to start execution of ARA, the first and important concept of axis control, that is axis risk analysis. So this risk analysis concept is so important that we will do execution in ARA, we will do risk analysis in BRM, we will do the same risk analysis in ARM also. So if you learn here itself, it will be useful for three executions. So today's topic will be all about rule set. So all about the information gathering. So if at all you want to create a rule set, what is the information you have to gather and how are they going to useful for you? And rule set is so very key. It's a key concept for a risk analysis and how the rule set is useful for the risk analysis, everything we are going to discuss. So make sure that you understand the risk rule set concept, like how to create a rule set concept. Today only theory, tomorrow we are going to do the execution. Okay. Right. So if you understand this rule set concept, it will help you. It will help you for ARA, BRM, ARM executions also. The same concept. So try to understand this one very much carefully. Right then, let's start today's session. So we are going to learn how to prepare a rule set. So here I am taking some of the example. Like I am working in for a Air India project, and I was supporting from a TCS company. So from this TCS company, I am going to Air India and going to gather all the information to form a rule set. So this process is called as a information gathering, which will be done only one time. This is not a day-to-day project or day-to-day concept, or we are going to do on a regular basis, nothing. So this rule set we are going to do only very much occasionally. Generally, in the initial stage only, we will be doing this concept. So what exactly do we need the information? First thing we should be knowing here is the what are the business processes we are having in our project. So what is meant by a business process? Anyone have any idea, like what are the business processes we are having? So business process is nothing but your modules. So modules are called as a business process here. First information you should gather here is total how many modules you are executing in this project. So gather that information. Like I am taking for example like a ABAP, basis, okay, HR, F5, HD, okay, and CO and security. These are the processes we are having. Next information we need to gather here is the sub-business process. What are the sub-business process we are going to have? We should gather that information also. So sub-business process. So sub-business process is nothing but like how many parts a module can be divided. So are you going to decide this one? No. We are going to approach every module people and ask them. So as a security consultant, we can say, so into how many parts a security module can be divided? As a user administration and role administration and something like a auditing. So we can divide our security module into three parts. Just for example purpose only, I am taking. So for security, I am taking like three modules. For remaining one, I am only taking one sub process. For the ABAP, we can take something like a coding. And for basis, we can take something like a client administration. Okay, in this way, we can just form different things based on the requirement. And next, sorry, and nextly, we are having something called as a HR. For HR, you can take something like a employee data. Employee data management. For FI, you can take something like a general ledger accounts management. You can take like a MRP or maximum retail price management. For HD, you can take something like a sales order. Okay. Controlling, you can take something like a company code. In this way, you can just create different sub processes. So who is going to decide these things means only that module people only will be doing. So generally, how this information is gathered is you should be priorly informing your team lead or your project manager. So, firstly, through your team lead, you should inform the project manager. Then the project manager will be asking you, so what is the purpose you required to conduct a team meeting? Then you should explain. We are going to form something called as a rule set. That is to perform risk analysis for every module people. We are going to form a rule set table. In order to do that, I required information for every team. Then automatically that project manager is going to schedule a team meeting for you. In the team meeting, a representative from every team is going to attend. And first thing you are going to gather there is what is the business process, like how many modules you are having. Generally, this one will be decided by the project manager itself. He will be having the information. Nextly, you should approach every team member. Like you should be asking ABAP team, how many sub-process or how many parts we can divide the ABAP, how many parts the basis, how many parts HR in this way. Firstly, you have to divide. Next thing you have to do is gather the transaction code. Okay, you should be gathering the transaction code. So you should ask them, what are the set of transaction codes for coding? So just for example purpose, I am going to take some set of transaction codes. Don't say that we don't have SE01 or SE01 does not belong to ABAP. You should not complain this thing. So for example purpose, I am randomly taking some transaction codes and some transaction codes for client administration like SCC 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And for HR people, you can take something like HR01 or PA01, PA02 in this way, some set of transaction codes. And for general ledger accounts, FS000103 in this way. And from point of view, you can take something like MM01. So these are the information that are going to be provided by the concerned department people or from the concerned module people only. You are not going to decide anything here. So what are the P codes must be there? You are not going to decide. They will just inform you. You should be creating the you should gather the information and create a table in this way. When it comes to user administration, you are having SU01, SU01D, okay? or SU10. And when it comes to role management, we are having PFCG, PFUG. Okay, it's okay. Only PFCG we are taking. And for the audit management, we are having a T code called SUIM. In this way, we have gathered all this information. So every module people are going to give the information for you. What are the set of transaction codes they are having for each functions? Okay, in this way. So after gathering all this information, next thing we have to do is make the function IDs like this. Function ID 1, function ID 2, okay, 3, 4, 5, 6 in this way. Different function IDs we are going to create. Now, if I am saying something called function ID 8, what is the meaning? User administration transaction codes. If I am saying function ID 5 means MRP related transaction codes. If I am saying function ID 2 means client administration related transaction codes. In this way, each function ID is going to represent one set of transaction codes. Are you clear till here, everyone? So each function ID now represents one set of transaction codes. So till now what you have done is the information gathering. Now it's time to create a rule set. Let us see how to, right. Now it's time to create a rule set. So now you are going to create a rule set. So in the rule set, what is the first thing we have to do here is something like risk IDs. And we are going to give something called as a functions. And here we have to give something called as the risk levels. Okay, these are the things which we have to assign. Now let us see in detail what are these things. So what are these things? Firstly, you are going to create something called as a risk IDs. Something like risk ID 01, 02, 03, 04, 05. And here you are going to give combinations. What is the combination? If we combine function 1 plus function 2, okay, function 1 plus function 2 we combine, we are going to get high risk. And if at all we combine function 3 plus function 4, we are going to get medium risk. If we are combining function 1 plus function 7, we are going to get low risk. And if we, in this way, whatever probabilities you want to give here, every probability you can give here. Okay. And lastly, if I combine function 8 plus function 9, I am going to get high risk. Okay, so here let's take example of the risk ID one. So what I am saying, if I combine f function 8 plus function 9, I am going to get high risk. So what is the meaning of this? Combining function 8 plus function 9 is nothing but if I combine any transaction code from function and if I combine any transaction code from this function, it is high risk. So for your feasibility, I am adding one more transaction code like SU53 here. Now function ID 8 plus function 9, there is a risk. Then what is the combination for this? There are several combinations like SU01 plus PFCG risk. SU01D plus PFCG, there is a risk. Okay. Again, SU10 plus PFCG, there is a risk. Similarly, Other combination SU01 plus SU53 risk. SU01D plus SU53 risk. Okay, SU10 plus SU53, there is a risk. In this way, total 6 risk we are getting. So by combining function 8 plus function 9, that is any one transaction code from this set and any one transaction code from this set, you are going to get a risk involved here. So this is what the meaning here. Now we are done with this theory part. Now I have a question for you. That is, here I have given the combination and the risk involved. Here I have not mentioned the combination called function 9 plus function 10. Then what is the meaning? Anyone? So what is the meaning? I have not given combination called function 9 plus function 10. Then what will be the meaning? Anyone? Ramya, Naidu, Yogesh, Srikant, what did you understand from this table?
Critical,
Sorry,
critical,
critical. How are you saying it's a critical? So on what basis are you saying that there is a critical risk here? So understand this one. So I am saying that if we combine these two things, there is high level of risk. If we combine these both, there is a medium risk. If we combine these both, there is a low risk. What is the meaning if I have not given any combination here? So the meaning here is there is no risk
no risk.
involved. Okay, that's the
Okay.
thing.
If it
So
is blank,
if I am,
then there is. If it is
yes,
blank, then there is no risk.
yes, if it is not, it's not like if it is bad. If we did not mention anything, if we did not mention any combination here, the meaning is we don't have any risk involved. Okay?
Okay.
Right. So here I did not mention anything like I did not mention function 8 plus function 9 plus function 10 combination. The meaning why I did not mention here because there is no risk involved. That's why I did not mention. In the same way applies anything. If there is any risk involved, then we are going to create a risk ID and assign it in the rule set. If there is no risk involved, we are not going to mention it in the rule set. That's the meaning. Now, let us see how this rule set is going to help us. So, how the rule set will help us. So, what happens here is the security team. So, what the security team does, if any new SAP consultant joins, simply they are going to create a user ID and they are going to assign him some roles. Now tell me, do security users or the security team has security team is technically it will be wrong. So whether this security consultant have any idea whether this user has any risk involved or not? Can he able to tell? The answer is no. Why? Because we don't have any option to do risk analysis in the in the ECC system. What this security consultant do in the project is he is going to inform the GRC team that he has he has created so and so user and he have created so and so roles or he has created so and so profile, any information he is going to do. Now what the GRC consultant does here is So the GRC consultant is going to perform risk analysis. So on what he is going to use? He is going to perform the risk analysis based on the rule set created. So here I am going to name something like rule set for Air India. So based on the rule set he have, so we are going to, the GRC consultant is going to perform risk analysis. So risk analysis for user he can perform, or else he can perform risk analysis for role. If at all you want to perform, you can perform, or else we can perform something like risk analysis for profile. Anything we are going to perform here. So to perform any of the risk analysis, either for user, role, or the profile, what we require is the rule set. Okay. Again, rule sets are again you can find two types. Generally in projects, we are going to have two types of rule sets. One is the global rule set. Okay, global rule set is nothing but a rule set that is provided by SAP by default itself. In the GRC default data only, you are going to get something called as a global rule set. So global rule set is nothing but a rule set created by SAP for you. And there all the possible risk elements are given by default. And trust me, in the most of the scenarios or in most of the things, in most of the projects, you are going to perform risk analysis based on the global rule set only. Okay, in very, very few scenarios or in very, very few projects, they are going to have something called as a customized rule set or a rule set that is created manually. So, why many projects don't create a rule set even though we have many options to customize? Why many of them don't prefer here is the main reason is just imagine if you are in your project, there are almost like there are something like 10,000 transaction code executed. How much time it will take to create a rule set? It will take like months of time. And again, you should take extra headache to do the to do the testing. Okay, whether the rule sets are created properly or not, whether all the transaction codes covered or not. Again, to do the cross verification, it will be taking lot of time for you. So generally, many companies or many projects don't prefer to create a rule set. They will be most of the time using the global rule set only. But here, as part of this practical session, we should create a rule set. Okay. Why? Because you should know the process, how the rule set is creating. Risk analysis, anyone can do. Even a end user can also perform the risk analysis if we show how to perform it. But if we should learn how to create a rule set. When can you create a rule? When can you perform this entire rule set? When you are having a company's knowledge only. Okay, so we are going to create a rule set and we will perform the risk analysis based on the rule set we created, and we will perform the risk analysis for the global rule set also. Now, that's the concept here. So anyone having any doubts still here, you can ask me. This is the theory of the rule set. There are some more things to discuss in the ARA introduction. This is all about the rule set theory. Anyone having any doubts still here, you can just ask me now.
Sir, can we copy the global rule set?
So what they will be doing is, yes, we can do it. So we can copy the global rule set and customize them also. as per our requirement.
Okay.
Right. Right. But generally, what we will do is either use the standard one or we create a customized one. Okay. So
Okay.
once you decide to do customization, everything will be customized. Okay, so yeah, I think you are already experienced here. That's why you are asking. A global rule set can be customized by using the BC sets. From the BC sets perspective, you can do the thing. You can copy it. If you require that practical, I will show you. Generally, we'll be not showing that. So if you particularly require that practical part, I will show you. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. All right then. Any other doubts anyone having? Right then. So
Sir,
now.
risk analysis for user role profile and means which type of analysis, sir? Risk analysis means how?
So risk analysis is nothing but based on the authorizations they are having.
Okay.
So based on the access they are having. So here what we got if any user or role or profile having access for any of this combination, you can say they are the risky users or risky roles or risky profiles. You can say that's it. So based on what means
Global,
nothing but based, yeah,
సార్ గ్లోబల్
global.
రూల్ సెట్ అంటే ఆల్రెడీ రిస్క్ ట్రాన్సాక్షన్స్ అన్ని అందులో ఉంటాయి కదా సార్
Yes, all the risky combinations. Okay, here
కాంబినేషన్స్
you should
ఓకే
be, yeah, you should be not calling as risky T codes, you should be calling them as risky combinations.
ఎస్
All
సార్
the
ఓకే
risky combinations. So, which SAP thinks they are going to give in the global rule set itself.
ఓకే సార్
Okay. Not
ఎస్
it does not mean that they are going to give every combination. What SAP feels combination of these transaction codes in their perspective, they are going to provide in the global rule set. Okay, is it clear?
ఓకే సార్ ఎస్ సార్
Right. So, any other doubts? Right then. So this process we will follow if the user ID is created in the EC system. If the user ID or role created in the ECC system. If the user ID and role are created in the GRC system itself, while creation itself, we are going to perform risk analysis again by using the same rule set only. Again, there is no again new method to do the execution. There also we follow the same steps only. But previously, what happened? If it is created in the ECC system or HR system or BW system, we will get the information from that system and perform the risk analysis. If the user or role created in the GRC system itself, while creating, we will perform the risk analysis by using the same rule set only. Whatever we create, either the customized rule set or the global rule set only. Any of the rule set we can perform the risk analysis while creating them only. Here we are going to use the same concept only. There is nothing again we are going to do a new concept there. There we are also performing the same thing. Okay. Any doubts? Hope so. Everyone is clear. Right then. Now, so here, firstly, we are going with the checklist. So before execution of ARA, Axis Risk Analysis, we are going to do some background work. So let us see what are they. Firstly, so are the rule set, are the common rule sets activated or not, we have to check. Are the common BC sets activated or not, we have to check them here. So what is the transaction code for BC sets activation? Anyone?
ఎస్పీసీఆర్ 20 సార్
Yes, exactly. Okay. SCPR 20 is the transaction code. Just execute that. So here we go for the access control BC set and just search for the common rule sets. So here you are going to have rule set. This one. This is the BC sets which we need to activate. Okay, rule set for common rules. And when I just go for the display document, I can see whether it is in active or not. It is already recently activated, or to make sure that you can just click the activate button. Okay, in the default method they will be activated, okay, in this way. Or else to check the activation you can even go to SPRO transaction code. In the SPRO go for GRC. Okay, in the GRC you can go for access control. So there will be some option. Access configurations. There will be somewhere here. I will just want to check here. Define workflows here. So even the BC set, let me remember, there are somewhere here itself. I think in the we may have in the general settings itself, not in the access control. The general settings. And then setup, right, yeah. Okay, somewhere I forgot it. Somewhere we'll be having the. So what are the activated BC sets we can once check here. So I will show it later, no problem. So once we have to activate the BC sets here. So after activating the BC sets, so these are somewhat, but not exactly this. So don't worry, I will once show once we do the implementation. They are just for the display purpose. What are the BC sets that are activated? We can check here itself. So after activating the BC sets which we required for execution, the next one will be the next one will be checking the sorry, just a moment. Yeah, the next one will be checking the configuration settings. So just simply go for the access control configuration settings. So whatever configuration settings they are asking for execution of ARA, you can once check here itself. So like what are the configuration settings of the ARA? What is the number range? Anyone? Number range for ARA configuration settings.
1001 to 2000.
Yeah, 1000 to 2000. So all these are different configuration settings we are having. Each one represents one thing. Like we are having something like workflow for risk maintenance. Here the value is set as no. So what is the meaning here is if I set no, it is not going to ask me approval for the risk analysis. If I set as yes, it is going to give it in this way. Each parameter is going to have one specific way. So I have a document for you where it is going to explain about every parameter ID. I will share that document also. So here we are having something like default rule set for risk analysis. So by default, what it is saying, it is going to take global rule set. By default, it is taking, or else if at all you want to select any of the rule set, you can do it based on your requirement. Okay, so by default, if at all, always that rule set will be selected. In this way, you can just do the configuration settings. Next one we have to create is the risk owner. So what we have to create? Risk owner. So from here onwards, we are going to create some someone called as a owner. For execution of any concept, there will be some owner there. So what are the responsibilities of an owner is to provide approvals and rejections. Okay, there will be compulsorily one owner ID. In ARA concept, we are going to have risk owner. Okay, and we are also going to have someone like mitigation owner. When it comes to BRM concept, there will be someone called as a role owner. And in the EAM concept, there will be someone called as the firefighter owner. And for ARM concept, there will be someone called as a access owner. So the what exactly a owner does is in that concept they are going to give approvals and the rejection. So now I am going to show you how to create a risk owner. Okay, so this task will be same for creating any type of owner. So learn it now only. So owner ID is nothing but a normal user ID we are going to create, and that user ID will be converted into a owner ID. Let us see how. Go to SU01 and create a user ID here. Okay, like, so I am going to create something like Air India underscore RO. Okay, create this one. So the last name what I am giving is the risk owner I am providing. So this is my owner ID. Make sure that you remember the owner ID. It is very, it will be, you must use the owner ID also for providing approvals and giving a password here. So the mandatory fields are common, they do not change. Now we are going into the roles tab. So by assigning these roles, this normal user ID will be converted into a risk owner. Okay. So did I give you as a role owner? Risk owner only. So go to the roles and search for the roles card star GRAC star. So we are browsing all the access control owners here. So just browse all types of owner IDs we are having, and the owner ID which we require is the risk owner. Just read the description. You will have somewhere here ZSAP underscore GRAC risk owner. This is the owner ID. So what is this one for? Risk maintenance and risk analysis. Okay. So risk owner ID, we have to assign this one. By assigning this single owner ID, this single role, this user ID is now can be used as a risk owner. A part of this role, we have to even assign some more roles like go for star GRC star. Here you are going to get all the GRC roles. So these are called as a common roles. So by assigning these common roles, we can use this user ID in NWBC. So what are the common roles we are having? Power user, base role, business user, display, and GRC NWBC. So these five roles are called as a GRC common roles. If at all you want to use any user ID in NWBC, then it is compulsory you should assign these 5 roles. Okay, so from today onwards, if we create any user ID in GRC, it does not matter what is the purpose, we mandatorily going to assign these 5 common roles also. Okay, and save the things. Now we have successfully created a risk owner. Is our practical done here? Means not at all. So we have to update these details in NWBC also. Whatever owner ID we create, it must be compulsorily updated in NWBC. So go for NWBC here. So no. So just I'm making the Chrome as a default browser so that it will be easy for us. So don't run NWBC here. So don't run NWBC in the Internet Explorer. It will be kind of not supporting right now. Previously, NWBC is supported. Sorry, Internet Explorer is the official supporter of the SAP. Now the contract is ended and it is no longer being supported here. So Google Chrome is your default browser, but still it is not opening. It's okay. So go for NWBC. So just cut this one and open the Chrome and just paste here and give your GRC user ID and password. Okay. So after you logging into NWBC, so go for the setup tab. So in the setup tab, just scroll down. You are having something called as the access owners. So what are the roles of access owners? To manage owner privileges for access management capabilities. So here search for the access control owners. You create any owners, just come here and update. Go for the create option. Okay. And here in the owner field, give the owner ID. Don't type directly in this way. So what happens is if you give anything spelling mistake, your execution will fail. So what you do in GRC is always go for the browse option and select it. So ID I have created is Air India RO, the risk owner. Just select this one and it will be automatically filled. After selecting this one, just scroll down and go for the owner type. So what type of owner is this user? Risk owner. Just select this one and see it what it is saying. So you can read the description. Risk owners are assigned to risk and are commonly responsible for approving changes to risk definition and violation of the risk. Risk owners may also receive conflicts and critical action alerts. So what it is saying is risk owners are responsible for approving the risk definition and the violations. They also receive the conflicts due to the critical actions. So in the comment, give something like risk owner for Air India project. In this way, give the details and save it. So close this one. You should be able to display. So okay. Just searching this way, you should be able to display in this way. If it is displayed here, the meaning is you have successfully done this one. Okay, this is our risk owner ID, which we are going to use in while doing the execution. So till here, anyone having any doubts, you can ask me. So these are the prerequisites for execution of risk owner. Yes, sorry, for execution of ARA, Axis Risk Analysis. So, anyone having any doubts still here, you can ask me. No one? So, firstly, did everyone complete the RFC settings and the access control settings? Are there any pending activity to perform? Anyone? So, you have executed everyone? Srikant, Naidu, Yogesh?
No, sir.
Sir, execute.
RFC connection is done, sir.
Okay. Right there. So RFC connection is done. Okay. Do the access control settings also, everything. So from tomorrow onwards, we are going to do the rule set configuration and execution. So to do that, I will be doing with my rule set which I have created. You should be doing with your rule sets and the RFC connections which you do. Practice with that only. Don't use the rule sets RFC connections which I created. So always use your own one. Okay?
Okay.
Right. So for that, make sure that you are completing the practicals by tomorrow. Why? Because tomorrow onwards we will start again new practical sessions. Okay? Right. Right. Any doubts you are having, you can ask me. No one? Right then.
in,
So then, yes, Srikant?
in, NWBC సరే మళ్ళీ చూపించారా సార్ ఎలా ఓపెన్ చేయాలి
NWBC it's very simple task, right? So just execute the NWBC here and it will be opened in Internet Explorer by default. Just cut the above URL and open the Windows tab. So open the Chrome and just paste it here. That's it. Here you should be giving the thing. So you got something like a unsafe you are getting, just click the proceed button. That's it. If you get like this URL is unsafe, don't use it. A prompt they are going to provide for you. Just ignore it and go for proceed. It will display here. Log in here with your user ID, GRC user ID and password. Whatever user ID you have created, just do it. So did everyone create your own user IDs
No, sir.
or using the so
Sir,
create
created,
your
sir.
own. Yeah, everyone create your own user IDs. Don't use the best this one. Best user ID, don't use it. Why? Because if everyone practicing at a time, it will log out for other person. Okay. If one person log in, second person will automatically log out. So make sure that everyone create your own user IDs. And in case if you forget your password, you can just open the best user ID and reset the password. Right? Right then. I'm going to end the session. Tomorrow I will be available for offline also. If you want to come, you can come for offline. Okay? Right, everyone. We'll be meeting tomorrow. Have a nice day.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.